Welcome on into a mailbag edition of Falcons Today. Matthew Peterson here answering questions from our live show, which airs every single Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So our very first question is coming in from Lav S. If Atlanta wants to trade down, what's a realistic team that would want to move up to 15? Lav, great question. Two teams come to mind immediately. The Denver Broncos and the LA Chargers. Denver picks 20. Chargers pick 15. I say Denver for two reasons. One, Sean Payton in New Orleans did not mind moving up and down in the draft. So there's some precedent there. Two, they need some help at running back. And if they don't think that Omarion Hampton, who is the RB2 for a lot of people in this class, is going to fall to 20, I could see them wanting to jump up. Now, I also mentioned the Chargers because I think the Chargers would love to get Colston Loveland, Jim Harbaugh's former tight end from Michigan. But what if the Chargers get spooked that the Broncos at 20, who could also use a tight end, take him? So they leapfrog their division rival to secure the next tight end for Justin Herbert. Those would be two teams I'd keep my eye on, Lav. Moving on to our next question. Matt, pick 15 best player available or positional need. Oh, pick number 15. Best player available. I was like, I'm going to give you 15 players. The thing with BPA is it's the fun, trendy thing. And I like it. Don't get me wrong. But is BPA a good pick for Atlanta if it's a running back? What if Ashton Genty's there? Do you want to go BPA? He would be the best player available. Probably not. So I think you got to have, this is like the work cliche. And if you go to a meeting in any company, no matter what their field of operations is, you're going to hear someone in that meeting say, it's all about finding a balance. It's all about finding a balance here. I'd say it's best player available, but you have to strip away quarterback, running back, offensive tackle, maybe not even offensive tackle if you're uneasy about Caleb McGarry. I think the need is going to dictate it, though. I just think Terry Fontenot is going to have so much pressure to just play it safe. Just take the infield single, right? Run it out, get on base. You need an edge rusher. It's a lot of good edge rushers in this class. Don't overthink it. Don't try and be the smartest guy in the room. Don't try and pretend like it's draft day and you can make all these moves. No, you need an edge. There's a good edge right there. I think it should be a relatively boring draft for Atlanta. They're not a team who I think should be making big, sexy type of trades or, surprise picks. Go get an edge. You need one? There it is. Take it. It's like a buffet. Just boop, on your plate. And go back for more. Second round? Fourth round? I don't care. All the rounds you want. On your plate. Amon K. 3-team trade idea. Falcons get Trey Hendrickson. Giants get Kirk Cousins. Bengals get Giants' third-round pick and Falcons' fifth. I mean, that's a great trade for Atlanta. Not a great trade for the Bengals. The Bengals get a third and a fifth for back-to-back 17.5 sacks. It's not nothing, but they'd want more. You'd have to bring up more. I think it'd have to be more than a future fifth. It'd have to be something closer to one. And the Giants getting Kirk Cousins, I think they're going to get Russell Wilson. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think Russell Wilson is going to pick the New York Giants. But I like the idea still. It's fun to put together 3-team trades. Josh Martinez, is this Parsons trade rumor legit? No. If you're thinking under the traditional sense of a trade rumor, no. I don't want to give people that impression of like, oh, the Falcons have given the Cowboys a call for Micah. Maybe they have, but I don't know that. I'm just trying to, and I think what Josh is referring to here is the video he put on the channel about Micah Parsons maybe being a trade target for Atlanta. I'm connecting the dots of he wants to be the new highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. I don't know if the Cowboys want to do that for him. And if they don't want to pay him, Atlanta should be aggressive in trying to get a trade done. And then the Cowboys avoid paying him. They get a boatload of draft picks. And the Falcons cut the line and get a proven player at edge. Before we move on to the other questions, it's been a while since we've done this, but with all the new subscribers we have gained during the month of free agency, shout out your city for me in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to see how far and wide an NFL fan base stretches, so let's see who the furthest fan is from Mercedes-Benz and who the closest fan is to Mercedes-Benz. Boomsticks. Matt, what do you think about drafting Mike Green in the first round and Maxwell Harrison in the second? So this is the Marshall edge rusher and the Kentucky corner, for anyone that doesn't know. I don't dislike this idea. Mike Green, the production last year was great. A little bit of a size concern. He came in a little smaller than I expected, and so he's probably going to have to be an outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense. I mean, let me just do a quick Google live on the show. Mike Green draft. What did he kind of measure in at the combine? No, a little bigger, actually. 6'3", 251. So I'll reel that part back in. I thought it was closer to like 240. But I don't dislike this idea. It's not my favorite probably pairing, but I could definitely get on board with this one right here. Quincy McBride. Who would you be shocked to see Atlanta take at 15? They took Penix and shocked the world. Can we really put anything past them? That is true. Quarterback's kind of a unique case, though, where if you love a quarterback, they're so valuable, you take them. You might love a running back, but you got Bijan, you don't take them. But in the spirit of your question, I'd say a shock the world kind of pick, it would have to be a wide receiver. When you're returning Drake London and Darnell Mooney, no one's expecting you to go receiver. But if they walk away from, which I have a hard time believing they will, from the combine, since they didn't bring any of their offensive guys up there, and they used all their meetings on defense, that'd have to be the biggest shocker. The team that only looked at defenders took Tet McMillan or Emeka Egbuka or Matthew Golden. Chris, do you think there is a chance the Falcons choose to draft a center over a defensive end, outside linebacker, or cornerback as their first pick? No, there's not a chance. There's not going to be a center that goes in the top 50 picks. It's not a good year for a team searching for a center. The offensive line this year, there are some good players in it, but overall, it's not one of the strengths of this draft. I think that's reflected by a lot of the offensive tackle signings in free agency. Dan Moore, he was the Steelers' left tackle last year. He got the bag in Tennessee. He was, of the 32 healthy starting left tackles in football, he was probably somewhere between 30 and 32. And the Titans gave him, I think, $80 million. That, to me, tells me what the Titans think about the tackles in this draft class. And they weren't the only team to make a dumb overpay like that. The Chiefs did it with a guard from the 49ers to move to tackle. The Giants paid a backup tackle $11 million. I bring all this up to say it's not a good time to need a center, so I don't expect them to go center early in the draft whatsoever. ZD Productions. Could you see us getting a next year because of Koo coming off a bad season and Riley Patterson being horrible? Also, you're not ever going to forget the Koo incident. Or, no, I'm not going to forget it. I got. You never forget the first time you got live on a show. I could see them bringing in like a UDFA kicker after the draft. What they might do is bring someone in, have them kind of work out, right? And then cut them. And if Koo runs into troubles in September and October, they feel like they have a head start on who could replace him if they need to. They're like, well, we worked with this guy over the summer, and let's bring him back because he already kind of knows what we're all about here. That'd be as close as I think Atlanta gets to that. Evan, should Atlanta get a pass rusher in free agency and get Will Johnson or Starks in the draft and get a pass rusher later in the draft? I like this idea, Evan, mostly for the Will Johnson part. You get what you already have, Leonard Floyd, Will Johnson in round 1, and then round 2, Jack Sawyer, Landon Jackson, the guy from Boston College who Donovan E. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm still trying to memorize that. There are some really good edges in round 2 of the draft. So I don't think that's going to be a fan favorite idea because people that just are casual fans will go, we were 31st in sacks last year. We took a corner, and I wouldn't be mad at them for thinking that. But I think once they learn how good of a player Will Johnson's going to be, they're going to warm up to that in the future. Evan, thank you so much for the question. Really appreciate it. Boyd, any more news on Trayvon Walker being available? No, I just think that was an internet rumor. And sometimes internet rumors turn into truth. Who was it? Oh, this is not quite apples to apples, but someone on Twitter had the West Virginia coach going to Indiana a week before it happened. And it was like an internet rumor, and then it actually happened. But college is a whole different beast than the pros. This is all in reference to Walter Football, that site. They put out this rumor, we'll call it, of Walker could be available for a trade. I'm not going to look at Walter Football as the guy with great sources in Duval that knows about the first overall pick being available for a trade. I wouldn't be shocked if the young, new, hotshot GM in Jacksonville thinks he's smarter than everyone else and decides, I'm going to trade Walker, get a bunch of picks, and I can build a better team with more picks rather than one player who has not lived up to first overall expectations, who's still quietly been good. 2 straight seasons with 10 or more sacks. So I give it a very low chance of happening, but I won't say 0. Patrick Richardson, Falcons over everything. I love the rah-rah mentality to end the mailbag here, Patrick. Thank you so much for the question. Well, I guess statement rather. So shout out to Patrick. Everyone spam Patrick in the chat. Show the guy some love for showing you some love. Thank you all so much for tuning in. That will do it for us on today's mailbag. We're going to sign off, and we're going to see everyone later with more Falcons news and rumors.